Mastering your state is the foundation of mental strength and resilience. The way you feel at any given moment is not random. It is dictated by your physiology, focus, and internal dialogue. By learning to take control of these factors, you can shift from a state of weakness, doubt, or fear to one of power, certainty, and confidence. Your emotional state is not something that happens to you, it is something you create. The moment you understand this truth, you unlock the ability to change your reality at will. The fastest way to change your state is through your body. Motion creates emotion. If you stand tall, breathe deeply, and move with purpose, your mind will follow. When people feel down, their shoulders slump, their breathing becomes shallow, and their energy drops. On the other hand, when someone feels powerful, their body reflects it. Their shoulders are back, their chest is open, and their movements are strong. If you want to feel unstoppable, start by acting as if you already are. This is why physical actions like jumping, clapping, or using power poses instantly shift how you feel. It is not just a trick, it is a fundamental truth of how the mind and body are connected. Breathing also plays a crucial role in state control. Shallow, rapid breath signals stress and fear, while deep, controlled breathing signals confidence and calm. When stress or uncertainty hits, take control of your breath first. A simple practice is the power breath technique. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and repeat. This regulates your nervous system and puts you back in control. Combining breath work with movement amplifies the shift. A simple way to test this is by doing a quick set of jumping jacks, taking deep breaths, and then checking how you feel. The energy shift is undeniable. Your focus determines your feelings. What you focus on expands. So if you constantly dwell on what's wrong, you will feel weak. Instead, train yourself to direct your focus towards solutions, opportunities, and personal power. Ask better questions. Instead of, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I use this to grow stronger? Instead of, what if I fail? Ask, what if I succeed beyond my wildest dreams? Your brain is a problem-solving machine. If you give it empowering questions, it will find empowering answers. This is a habit that must be conditioned daily. The final key to mastering your state is controlling your inner dialogue. The words you say to yourself shape your beliefs and emotions. Negative self-talk destroys confidence, while powerful affirmations reprogram the mind for success. Catch yourself when you say, I can't, or I'm not good enough, and replace it with, I am capable, I am strong, I always find a way. Say it with intensity, say it with certainty. Over time, these words become your reality. Mastering your state is a skill that separates those who react to life from those who take control of it. The ability to shift instantly into power is always within reach. It starts with a decision. The decision to own your emotions, your actions, and ultimately, your life. Rewiring your mindset is the key to breaking limitations and achieving unstoppable mental strength. The way you think determines the quality of your life. Every belief, every thought pattern, and every story you tell yourself either empowers you or holds you back. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is not external circumstances, but internal conditioning. The mind is like a computer. It runs on programs installed over time through experiences, repetition, and reinforcement. The good news is that just like software can be updated, your mindset can be rewired to serve you instead of working against you. The first step is identifying limiting beliefs. These are the invisible chains that keep people stuck in the same patterns, preventing growth and success. They often come in the form of thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I always fail, or success is for other people, not me. These beliefs are not facts. They are simply stories repeated so often that they feel true. The brain seeks evidence to support what it already believes, which is why people who think they are unlucky always find reasons to justify it. To rewire the mind, these beliefs must be challenged, disrupted, and replaced with new, empowering beliefs that align with success and confidence. Repetition is the secret weapon for creating a new mindset. Just as negative beliefs were ingrained over time, positive beliefs must be conditioned through constant reinforcement. Visualization, affirmations, and powerful self-talk are essential tools for this process. When you consistently tell yourself, "I am strong, I am unstoppable, I always find a way," your mind begins to accept these statements as truth. Visualization amplifies this effect. When you vividly see yourself succeeding, overcoming obstacles, and thriving, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if you were actually experiencing those moments. The more this practice is repeated, the more natural it becomes to think and act in alignment with success. Focus is another critical component of mindset rewiring. What you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on problems, setbacks, and fears, your mind will create more of them. But when you train yourself to focus on opportunities, solutions, and strengths, you rewire your brain to operate at a higher level. A simple way to shift focus is through the questions you ask yourself daily. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can I use this to grow?" Instead of dwelling on failure, ask, "What lesson can I learn to become better?" By consistently directing your focus toward growth, your mind adapts to seek solutions instead of excuses. Your environment also plays a major role in shaping your mindset. Surrounding yourself with people who elevate your thinking, reading books that expand your perspective, and listening to empowering content conditions your mind for success. The brain is constantly absorbing input, so being intentional about what you expose yourself to is crucial. The more you immerse yourself in an environment that reinforces positivity, strength, and achievement, the faster you rewire your mindset. The process of rewiring the mind is not a one-time event, but a daily practice. Every moment presents a choice to reinforce old limitations or to install new, empowering beliefs. The mind is the ultimate tool, and those who learn to master it create a life without limits. Developing absolute certainty is the foundation of achieving extraordinary success and overcoming any challenge. Certainty is not just hope or confidence. It is an unshakable belief that no matter what happens, you will find a way to succeed. It is the inner conviction that even in the face of setbacks, doubts, or failures, you will keep pushing forward until you achieve your goal. When certainty is present, hesitation disappears and action becomes effortless. This level of belief is not something people are born with. It is something that is built, conditioned, and strengthened over time. The mind is constantly looking for patterns and references to determine what is possible. If past experiences have been filled with failure or struggle, doubt can creep in. But certainty is created by training the mind to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. One of the most powerful ways to develop certainty is through repetition. When you repeat an action, thought, or behavior enough times, it becomes second nature. Just like a muscle grows through repeated training, certainty strengthens when reinforced daily. Speaking with conviction, visualizing success, and affirming powerful beliefs conditions the brain to expect victory. The more you reinforce certainty, the more natural it becomes to take massive action without fear or hesitation. Physical action is one of the quickest ways to embody certainty. When the body moves with power, the mind follows. Standing tall, breathing deeply, and making decisive movements sends signals to the brain that you are in control. Athletes, performers, and leaders use this strategy instinctively. Before stepping into high-pressure situations, they prime their body and mind through movement, breath, and powerful self-talk. This practice can be applied in everyday life to instantly shift into a state of absolute certainty. When you train yourself to walk, talk, and move with confidence, your mind adopts the same certainty. Another way to condition certainty is through stacking references of success. The brain believes what it sees evidence for. So intentionally recalling moments of past victories, no matter how small, builds the internal belief that success is inevitable. Every time you overcame a challenge, solved a problem, or achieved something difficult, it was proof of your capability. By stacking these references, certainty grows stronger. If no personal references exist, borrowing belief from others who have succeeded against the odds can be a powerful shortcut. Studying the mindset of successful people, immersing in their stories, and modeling their thinking patterns rewires the brain to accept success as the standard. Language plays a critical role in developing certainty. Words have power, and the way you speak to yourself determines how you feel. Replacing uncertain language with powerful, definitive statements transforms the way the mind operates. Saying, "I'll try," or "I hope," weakens certainty, while saying, "I will," or "I must," creates an immediate shift in energy. The mind listens to what you tell it, so using commanding, intentional language conditions certainty on a deep level. Absolute certainty is the force that separates those who achieve greatness from those who hesitate in doubt. It is built through repetition, movement, reference stacking, and powerful language. Once certainty is locked in, nothing can shake it. Obstacles become stepping stones, fear becomes fuel, and success becomes inevitable. Adopting a growth-oriented identity is the key to lasting transformation and unlimited potential. Identity is the deepest force that shapes behavior, decisions, and ultimately destiny. People do not act based on what they want, they act based on who they believe they are. If someone sees themselves as weak, incapable, or average, their actions will always align with that identity, no matter how much motivation they temporarily feel. But when someone shifts their identity to one of strength, resilience, and unstoppable growth, everything changes. True transformation does not come from forcing behavior change. It comes from shifting the identity that drives those behaviors. The mind is constantly reinforcing an internal narrative about who a person is. This narrative is formed through experiences, past conditioning, and repeated thoughts. Most people accept their identity without question, living as though it is fixed, but identity is not permanent. It can be redefined at any moment. The key is to consciously decide who to become and to reinforce that identity until it becomes reality. This process begins by eliminating the labels that limit potential. When someone says, "I'm not good at that," they are reinforcing a fixed identity that blocks growth. Instead, replacing such statements with, "I am someone who is learning and improving every day," creates a powerful shift. The way identity is conditioned is through consistent action. A runner is not someone who just thinks about running. They run consistently, reinforcing that identity with action. The same applies to any area of life. If the goal is to become confident, then acting confidently, even when it feels uncomfortable, is the key. Repetition of behavior locks in identity. The more often a person takes action aligned with their desired self-image, the stronger that identity becomes. The words people use to describe themselves shape their identity. Saying, "I am disciplined," even before it feels true, sends signals to the brain to find evidence of discipline. Repeating affirmations like, I am strong. I am relentless. I am someone who never gives up. Rewires the mind to align actions with this identity. Over time, these statements become reality. The brain does not differentiate between what is real and what is repeatedly told to it. It simply accepts what is fed to it consistently. This is why intentional language is crucial in shaping a growth-oriented identity. Environment plays a major role in reinforcing identity. Surrounding oneself with people who embody the qualities of growth, strength, and success accelerates the process of transformation. The human brain is wired for adaptation, and it mirrors the energy, behaviors, and habits of the people in close proximity. Being around individuals who push limits, embrace challenges, and strive for excellence naturally conditions a mindset that does the same. The fastest way to shift identity is to immerse in an environment that makes the new identity feel normal. True change happens when identity shifts at the core level. When someone believes they are the type of person who takes action, embraces challenges, and thrives in uncertainty, success becomes inevitable. The key is to intentionally shape this identity, reinforce it daily, and let actions align with the new version of self. When identity is upgraded, every part of life transforms with it. Turning pain into power is one of the most transformational mindsets a person can adopt. Pain is inevitable in life, but suffering is a choice. What separates those who rise from adversity from those who are broken by it is the meaning they assign to their experiences. Every challenge, setback, or failure carries the potential to either weaken or strengthen a person, and that outcome is determined by perspective. Pain itself is not the enemy. It is a tool for growth, a signal for change, and a source of unimaginable strength when harnessed correctly. The greatest achievers in history did not succeed despite their pain. They succeeded because they used their pain as fuel. The mind is conditioned to avoid pain, but this instinct often leads to a cycle of limitation. Avoiding pain means avoiding growth, and avoiding growth leads to a life of mediocrity. The key is to reframe pain as a necessary part of progress. Muscles grow through resistance. Diamonds form under pressure, and strong minds are built through adversity. When pain is embraced as a teacher rather than an enemy, it becomes a source of limitless power. Every painful experience holds a lesson, a strength, or a gift, but only those willing to search for it will find it. Reframing pain begins by changing the questions asked in difficult moments. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" a more powerful question is, "How is this happening for me?" This shift in perspective turns any struggle into an opportunity for growth. Pain can either define a person as a victim or shape them into a warrior. The choice is always there. When setbacks are viewed as stepping stones rather than obstacles, they become a source of motivation rather than discouragement. Every great success story includes failure, rejection, and hardship. But those who succeed are the ones who refuse to let pain break them. Emotional pain, like physical pain, is a signal. It reveals where change is needed, where growth is possible, and where strength must be developed. Running from it only prolongs the struggle, but facing it head-on builds resilience. Developing the habit of leaning into discomfort, embracing challenges, and seeking out difficult situations strengthens the mind to handle anything. When pain is no longer feared, it loses its control. Instead of being something to avoid, it becomes something to harness, a tool to sharpen discipline, mental toughness, and drive. The energy created by pain can be redirected into action. Some of the most successful individuals turned their deepest struggles into their greatest purpose. Pain can fuel the drive to push harder, work smarter, and refuse to accept anything less than greatness. The fire of adversity can either consume a person or forge them into something stronger. The decision is made every day, in every moment, in every response to life's challenges. Strength is not built in comfort, it is built in fire. Those who learn to turn pain into power become unbreakable. They do not wait for life to be easy, they train themselves to be stronger. They do not wish for fewer problems, they develop greater skills. When pain is used as fuel, no setback is permanent, no failure is final, and no challenge is too great to overcome. The strongest minds are not the ones that avoid pain, but the ones that transform it into unstoppable momentum. Raising your standards is the ultimate key to lasting change and extraordinary success. Every person in life gets what they tolerate, not what they wish for. The difference between those who settle for mediocrity and those who achieve greatness is not luck, talent, or resources. It is the standard they set for themselves. Standards are the invisible force that dictates decisions, actions, and ultimately results. When someone decides that a certain level of health, wealth, relationships, or performance is non-negotiable, they will do whatever it takes to maintain that standard. The problem is that most people never consciously define their standards, and as a result, they accept far less than they are capable of. Changing any area of life begins with raising standards. It is not about making small improvements, but about deciding that certain things are no longer acceptable. If someone tolerates being out of shape, they will continue unhealthy habits. If they tolerate being disrespected in relationships, they will attract people who treat them poorly. If they tolerate procrastination, excuses, and self-doubt, they will never reach their full potential. The moment a person declares that they will no longer accept anything less than excellence, everything shifts. Standards are powerful because they determine what a person demands from themselves. And when those demands rise, actions follow. The challenge is that most people set goals, but do not raise their standards. Goals are wishes. Standards are identity. Someone might set a goal to get in shape, but if their standard is to eat whatever they want and skip workouts, the goal will never be met. On the other hand, when they set a standard that they are the kind of person who takes care of their body no matter what, their actions align with that belief. The difference is massive. A goal is something someone hopes to achieve. A standard is something they refuse to live without. Real transformation happens when behaviors are no longer optional, but become part of who a person is. One of the fastest ways to raise standards is to change the environment. People's standards are often a reflection of those around them. If they surround themselves with high achievers who demand the best from themselves, they will naturally elevate their own expectations. If they are around people who accept average, they will unconsciously lower their standards to fit in. The human brain is wired for adaptation, which means that exposure to higher standards makes them feel normal. This is why being in an environment of excellence is one of the most powerful ways to create lasting change. Once standards are raised, they must be reinforced through action. It is not enough to decide on a new standard. It must be lived every day. Small, consistent actions that align with a higher standard create momentum. When a person repeatedly proves to themselves that they uphold a new level of excellence, their identity shifts. They become someone who refuses to settle, who demands more from life, and who consistently pushes beyond limitations. Raising standards is a decision that separates those who achieve greatness from those who make excuses. It is the difference between being average and becoming exceptional. The moment a person decides that they will no longer accept anything less than their true potential, life begins to transform. Success, happiness, and fulfillment are not about what is possible, they are about what is demanded. Those who raise their standards raise their lives. Mastering emotional control is one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. Emotions dictate decisions, shape relationships, and determine the overall quality of life. Those who allow emotions to control them are at the mercy of circumstances, while those who take control of their emotions create their own destiny. Strength, resilience, and success are not about avoiding emotions, but about mastering them, using them as fuel rather than being consumed by them. Emotional mastery is the ability to shift from reaction to intention, from chaos to clarity, and from fear to power in any situation. Most people operate in a reactive state, letting external events dictate their emotions. If something good happens, they feel happy. If something bad happens, they feel frustrated, stressed, or defeated. This gives all the power to the outside world. True strength comes from the ability to generate emotions internally rather than relying on circumstances. No matter what is happening, a person can choose how they feel and respond. It is not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them and directing them in a way that serves rather than limits. One of the fastest ways to take control of emotions is by mastering physiology. The mind and body are deeply connected, and how the body moves, breathes, and postures itself directly affects emotional states. When a person slouches, breathes shallowly, and looks down, they reinforce emotions of sadness, doubt, and fear. But when they stand tall, breathe deeply, and move with power, they instantly shift into a state of confidence and strength. This is why athletes, performers, and leaders use body language and movement to control their state before stepping into high-pressure situations. Changing the body changes emotions instantly. Focus is another critical factor in emotional mastery. What a person focuses on determines how they feel. If they constantly focus on what is missing, what is wrong, or what could go wrong, they create stress, anxiety, and frustration. But if they train themselves to focus on solutions, opportunities, and what they can control, they create confidence, clarity, and drive. The mind is like a magnifying glass. Whatever it focuses on expands. By consciously directing focus toward empowering thoughts and possibilities, emotions shift from limitation to strength. Language also plays a major role in emotional control. The words a person uses to describe their experience shape how they feel. Saying, "I'm devastated," creates a different emotional response than saying, "I'm a little challenged, but I'll figure it out." Shifting language from extreme, disempowering words to empowering ones changes the emotional experience instantly. The mind listens to the words it hears, and by choosing words that reinforce strength, resilience, and optimism, emotions are directed in a powerful way. Emotional mastery is not about eliminating negative emotions, but about transforming them. Anger can be turned into drive, fear into focus, and stress into action. The strongest individuals do not let emotions control them. They use emotions as tools to create momentum. When someone learns to take command of their emotional state, they become unshakable. They no longer wait for life to make them feel a certain way. They decide how they feel and take control of their reality. Those who master their emotions master their life. Building relentless resilience is the key to overcoming any obstacle and achieving long-term success. Life is unpredictable, and challenges, failures, and setbacks are inevitable. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not intelligence, talent, or resources. It is resilience. It is the ability to keep going when things get tough, to adapt when faced with setbacks, and to push forward even when the odds seem impossible. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties. It is about developing the mental toughness to rise stronger every time life knocks you down. Every great success story is built on resilience. No one who has ever achieved something extraordinary did so without setbacks, failures, or rejections. The strongest individuals are not those who never experience failure, but those who refuse to let failure define them. They see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than reasons to quit. Resilience is the mindset that no matter how hard things get, no matter how many times things don't go as planned, giving up is never an option. It is the unwavering commitment to find a way forward no matter what. Resilience is built through adversity. Just like a muscle grows stronger through resistance, the mind becomes tougher through challenges. Every difficulty faced is an opportunity to develop greater mental strength. Those who seek comfort and avoid struggle remain weak, but those who embrace hardship develop the ability to handle anything. The key is to change the perspective on adversity. Rather than seeing it as something to be feared, it must be seen as something to be embraced. Every struggle carries a lesson, every failure contains wisdom, and every setback is a chance to become stronger. One of the most powerful ways to develop resilience is to train the mind to focus on solutions rather than problems. When faced with a challenge, most people get stuck in frustration, doubt, or fear. They dwell on what went wrong instead of searching for what can be done next. But those who are resilient shift their focus immediately to action. They do not waste time complaining or feeling sorry for themselves. Instead, they ask, what is the next step? And take action no matter how small. This habit of moving forward, even when things seem impossible, builds unstoppable momentum. Resilient people also develop a deep belief in their ability to figure things out. They do not rely on circumstances, luck, or external factors to determine their success. They trust that, no matter what happens, they have the inner strength to find a way. This belief is built through experience. Every time they push through a difficult situation, their confidence grows. Over time, they develop an unshakable certainty that no challenge is too great to overcome. Resilience is not about being fearless or never experiencing doubt. It is about feeling the fear, facing the doubt, and taking action anyway. It is about refusing to let temporary setbacks turn into permanent failure. Those who develop relentless resilience become unstoppable. They do not break under pressure, they rise. They do not see challenges as barriers, they see them as stepping stones. The world does not determine their fate, their own determination does. Those who refuse to quit are the ones who achieve greatness. Developing an unstoppable mindset is the foundation of achieving anything in life. The mind is the most powerful tool capable of creating extraordinary success or endless limitations. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is not their circumstances, intelligence, or background. It is their mindset. An unstoppable mindset is one that refuses to accept defeat, constantly seeks growth, and finds a way forward no matter the situation. It is the ability to turn obstacles into opportunities, challenges into lessons, and failures into stepping stones. When the mind is conditioned for resilience, determination, and limitless belief, there is nothing that cannot be achieved. Thoughts create emotions. Emotions influence actions, and actions shape results. Those who allow fear, doubt, and negativity to take control will always find reasons why they cannot succeed. But those who train their minds to focus on possibilities, solutions, and strengths will always find a way forward. The mind must be directed intentionally. Left unchecked, it will default to fear and limitation. The key to an unstoppable mindset is developing the habit of shifting focus toward empowerment. Instead of asking, what if I fail? The question should be, what can I learn from this? Instead of focusing on what is missing, the focus should be on what can be done right now. The mind will always search for answers based on the questions it is given, so asking the right questions creates the right outcomes. Another crucial aspect of an unstoppable mindset is eliminating excuses. The moment an excuse is accepted, growth stops. Excuses are stories that justify limitations, and those who buy into them will always remain stuck. The truth is, every challenge, setback, or disadvantage can be overcome with the right mindset. History is filled with people who started with nothing, faced overwhelming odds, and still achieved greatness. What separates them is not luck. It is their refusal to make excuses. The key is to take full responsibility for life. When ownership is taken over every action, decision, and outcome, there is no room for excuses, only solutions. The mind also becomes unstoppable when conditioned for persistence. Success rarely happens overnight, and most people give up long before they reach their full potential. The greatest breakthroughs often come just beyond the point where most people quit. Those who keep pushing, who refuse to stop, and who commit to the process, no matter how long it takes, are the ones who achieve massive success. Persistence is not about never failing. It is about getting back up every single time. Every setback is temporary unless it is accepted as permanent. When the mind is trained to view obstacles as part of the journey rather than a reason to stop, persistence becomes second nature. Ultimately, an unstoppable mindset is about making a decision to never settle, never give up, and never accept anything less than greatness. It is about training the mind every day to focus on strength, resilience, and solutions. It is about eliminating excuses, embracing challenges, and pushing forward no matter what. Those who master their mindset master their destiny. With an unstoppable mind, no goal is too big, no challenge is too great, and no dream is out of reach.